everyone. Dan Eisner here from ZLC Employee Benefit Solutions. My passion is to work hard to find better ways for employee benefits. And I do this by partnering with finance and HR leaders in the market and by leveraging my relatively unique profile. I have more than 20 years of experience as an employee benefits advisor, and I have the skills as the only chartered professional accountant working in this industry in the local market. It's this passion to find better ways that drove me to develop the Better Benefits podcast series. In this episode of the Better Benefits podcast series, I'd like to talk about secrecy in the insurance industry around reasonable and customary limits. More specifically, I want to share with you what we have heard from insurers in the employee benefits industry and the potentially negative consequences for employees, plan sponsors, and benefits advisors resulting from this secrecy. So let's get started. As most employee benefits plan sponsors are aware, the adjudication of employee benefits claims is subject to a provision referred to as reasonable and customary limits, or R&C limits. These are most often seen impacting things like paramedical claims, but they also exist in many other areas of extended health and dental plans. Unfortunately, the impact of R&C limits is almost always seen as a negative by employees since the reimbursement of their claims is often reduced. Conceptually, R&C limits have been put in place to mitigate potential abuses in employee benefits plans and therefore to help ensure the financial sustainability of these programs. There are many historical examples of these abuses. I can recall a time many years ago when off-the-shelf orthotics were being sold for hundreds of dollars. However, in spite of the benefits of R&C charges, historically there's also been a lot of secrecy around how these limits are developed and managed by the insurers. Based on a past informal survey of 10 participating Canadian insurers, I want to reiterate some high-level findings with respect to R&C limits for paramedical practitioners. So, the vast majority of insurers review R&C limits annually, and a couple of them review it at least every 2 years or on an ad hoc basis if required. In general, all insurers were somewhat vague in describing their underlying methodologies when reviewing R&C limits, and one carrier actually declined to respond to that question as they consider it proprietary. Where information was provided, most carriers reference internal data, current R&C limits, and external sources, including provincial fee guides developed by professional associations. One insurer indicated they consult experts as needed, and 2 insurers indicated they review competitor data where available. As well, 3 insurers advised that they have targets as to what percentage of claims will be paid under their R&C limits based on historical claims data. Only 3 insurers publish their R&C limits for plan members to use. And of those insurers that do not publish, one insurer indicated they're moving towards publishing. One insurer indicated that the plan member can actually contact them to obtain the information, and another insurer indicated that the information was on their app. That still left 4 insurers not willing to share this information, and it's hard to understand why. Only 2 insurers provide R&C information to benefits advisors like me, and one insurer indicated that this information can be provided possibly on a request by an advisor. Okay, so there's a lot of information there to digest, so let me summarize. We agree that R&C limits are necessary to help ensure financial sustainability of the benefits plans that employees rely upon. We also agree that the intent of these limits is most often to mitigate abuses by practitioners, not abuses by employees. However, we struggle to understand why there is so much secrecy around the methodology for developing R&C limits and why these limits are not proactively published so that they are available to employees, plan sponsors, and advisors. We believe that if R&C limits and the underlying methodologies were proactively published, many positive outcomes would result. Employees would have easier access to information to help them become better consumers when dealing with paramedical practitioners and also other medical supplies providers. Plan sponsors would be better prepared to respond to employee concerns and complaints when their paramedical claims are not fully reimbursed. And benefits advisors would be better able to assist their clients when issues arise around R&C limits, and we'd also be able to proactively work with insurers to refine those methodologies to ensure competitive and equitable practices across the industry. Ultimately, we could all work together to help ensure the sustainability of our employee benefits programs. But this won't happen while there continues to be so much secrecy amongst insurers around RNC limits. Okay, you've heard my thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think. Was this advice helpful? How does this compare to what you're hearing from your current advisor or other advisors in the market? As well, I'm always interested to know if there are other current topics that you'd like to see me cover in future podcasts. Let me know what's bothering you or keeping you awake at night with respect to your employee benefits plan. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to follow me on my LinkedIn business page. That's Dan Eisner, Employee Benefits Advisor, and you'll get a notification on the next Better Benefits podcast. All that information will come up on the screen in a second. Thanks so much.